Nah, oreta wa isubasa kimi wa sukoshi. Oreta wa isubasa kimi.
Jadi pemirsa, sampai kita lihat di layar kaca bagaimana ini para pemain dari kedua kesebelasan tentunya dari Portugal dan juga dari Spanyol yang sudah mulai bersiap-siap. Kita kembali berbicara, mungkin langsung saja berbicara mengenai taktik yang akan diturunkan oleh kedua pelatih. Dari Portugal, bagaimana Anda memprediksi taktik yang mungkin nanti akan dimainkan?
Saya pikir tidak banyak perubahan di kedua tim secara taktik maupun strategi ya, sama seperti yang mereka tampilkan di pertandingan sebelum ini karena memang kekuatan mereka ada di situ. Mana pola 4-2-3-1 memang masih dijalankan oleh kedua tim. Dan satu lagi mungkin yang akan menjadi pembeda di pertandingan ini justru Justin bergantung kepada pemain cadangan mereka, substitut mereka saat tampil cukup ketat, saat pemain starting line up tidak berhasil memberikan perbedaan nama-nama yang muncul dari bangku cadangan, itu bisa jadi akan menjadi pembeda. Kalau kita lihat itu sudah ditunjukkan oleh Portugal sendiri saat menghadapi Kroasia, di mana Ronaldo ditarik, kemudian juga Ramos yang masuk dan akhirnya menciptakan gol kedua untuk Portugal.
Iya, dan juga kalau kita melihat ya bagaimana line up yang nanti juga akan ditampilkan di layar kaca pemirsa, tapi kita berbicara mengenai line up yang sudah diturunkan oleh kedua pelatih. Tentunya dari Portugal tersendiri hanya ada satu perubahan, yaitu dari nama Leo yang dipasang sebagai starting ketika menghadapi Kroasia. Kali ini tadi seperti yang Bung Erwin katakan, ada nama Felix yang diturunkan.
Ya, sama-sama tidak mengganti winning team dengan waktu istirahat yang cukup.
yang menarik tadi saya sempat melihat Rodri ya, pilar Spanyol di lini tengah, itu aspek bertahannya dari statistik FIFA itu nomor 2. Nomor satunya Dayot Upamecano. Jadi pemain gelandang tapi aspek bertahannya ada di runner up. Pemain-pemain belakang lainnya ini merupakan sebuah kelebihan dari Rodri, dan ini yang menjadi salah satu kekuatan tentu bagi Spanyol untuk bisa menahan serangan-serangan dari para pemain Portugal. Iya, pemirsa, itu kita lihat bagaimana sosok karismatik dari sang kapten Cristiano Ronaldo, di mana Cristiano Ronaldo sendiri memang sudah pernah merasakan juara 4 bersama dengan Portugal ketika pesta bola dunia di 20 tahun lalu di Jerman. Namun tentunya ini digadang sebagai last dance dari Cristiano Ronaldo di edisi kali ini, dan pastinya ini memberikan yang terbaik untuk negaranya, untuk Portugal. Dan juga ia belum pernah memiliki satu-satunya trofi ya, yang belum ada di lemarinya. Dan juga kita tahu ini di usia 41 tahun CR7 kembali ke pesta bola dunia ke-6 kalinya. Namun kehadirannya juga selalu memicu perdebatan yang tak terhindarkan mengenai fleksibilitas dari tim. Namun setelah melihat 4 laga yang dilakoni, apakah menurut Anda opini tersebut sudah bisa berubah?
Ya, seperti yang dia sampaikan di press conference ya.
Dapat tinggal Argentina, bro.
Semua berbicara mengenai tekanan yang dia alami.
Suka.
Tapi dia tekanan dia.
Jam 11 kan?
Sekarang ini bukan baru sekarang, tapi
ketinggian tak?
Dia karirnya dia merasakan tekanan itu. Jadi
jam 11 berarti?
Yang luar biasa.
Nggak, Argentina habis masuk main.
Dan motivasi dia
untuk
Piala Dunia mungkin adalah terakhir kalinya kok, itu menjadi motivasi tersendiri. Pemain yang biasa saja kalau mendapatkan motivasi yang tepat akan tampil luar biasa. Sekarang kita menunggu bagaimana seorang Cristiano Ronaldo mendapatkan motivasi untuk tampil baik di Piala Dunia kali ini.
Oke, dan pemirsa, sebelum menit pertama dibuka, ada satu momen tentunya yang selalu punya memecah di panggung Piala Dunia. Pemirsa, mari kita dengarkan bersama National Anthem dari Portugal dan juga Spanyol.
Please stand if you are able for the national anthem of Portugal. Please remain standing if you are able for the national anthem of Spain.
Banyak pendek ini. Nó gà này vậy.
Ya pemirsa, baiklah lagu kebangsaan dari Portugal dan juga dari Spanyol sudah kita dengarkan dan kita bisa melihat bagaimana atmosfer dari Dallas Stadium pun yang semakin siap sudah terasa untuk laga hidup dan mati ini. Tentunya kedua tim memiliki status favorit dalam pertandingan hari ini dan pemirsa, laga kali ini berada di Dallas Stadium di Texas yang dimana ini menjadi salah satu venue yang paling sibuk sekaligus terbesar di Pesta Bola Dunia 2026 karena akan menggelar total 9 pertandingan dan juga stadion ini mampu menampung hingga 108.000 penonton dan juga memiliki salah satu layar video gantung terbesar di dunia olahraga. Kita akan melihat bagaimana situasi dari ruang VAR dan kita juga sambil menunggu seperti apa line up resmi yang akan diturunkan dan ini dia line up dari Portugal 4-2-3-1.
Ya, dengan dari gawang Diogo Costa, back kiri kanannya ada Nuno Mendes dan Joao Cancelo, pemain yang salah satu pemain senior. Di tengahnya ada Renato Veiga dan Ruben Dias. Dua holding midfield adalah Vitinha dan Joao Neves, pemain asal Paris Saint-Germain. Sementara di tiga di depannya ada Joao Felix di kiri, Bruno Fernandes di belakang Ronaldo dan Pedro Neto di sayap kanannya.
Iya, dengan formasi 4-2-3-1 dan kita akan melihat seperti apa formasi yang diturunkan oleh Spain ini dia 4-1-2-3 silakan Pokok.
Iya, sama dengan yang ditampilkan oleh Portugal. Di sini ada Cucurella, Laporte, Kubarsi, dan Puro di belakang. Di tengah juga pasti peran sentral dia akan disupport oleh Pedri yang lebih menyerang. Begitu juga dengan Dani Olmo di sektor sayap atau di tiga pemain ada di depan ada Alex Baena, Mikel Oyarzabal dan juga Lamine Yamal. Dengan pola seperti ini saya pikir penguasaan akan menjadi kunci permainan Spanyol di pertandingan malam ini.
Iya, dan juga memang kalau kita melihat line up dari Spanyol tidak ada satupun perubahan, artinya ini sang pelatih De La Fuente mempercayakan skuad kemenangannya ketika menghadapi Austria dengan skor 3-0. Kita melihat juga di layar kaca pemirsa ini dia Roberto Martinez, pelatih dari Portugal yang sudah melatih tim ini sejak Januari 2023 dan ini dia Luis De La Fuente di mana pelatih asal Spanyol juga yang telah melatih tim ini sejak Januari 2023 dan pemirsa sepertinya sebentar lagi pertandingan dari Portugal berhadapan dengan Spanyol akan segera dimulai. Mungkin kita prediksi dari Bung Popon dan juga Bung Aryan mungkin dari Bung Popon dari 3 pertandingan babak pertama singkat saja.
Pertandingan pasti akan berjalan ketat kalau ada gol tidak lebih dari 1.
Oke, Bung Aryan?
Harusnya bisa berjalan menarik karena sama-sama menyerang.
Oke, baik pemirsa ini dia pertandingan antara Portugal berhadapan dengan Spanyol di 16 besar Pesta Bola Dunia 2026. Dari studio kami ucapkan selamat menyaksikan.
Spain kick off. Portugal. Historically, the underdogs. So they got that big win in that Nations League, which is a European competition run by UEFA. To winning the special, they won it in Spain. Raya managed to win a triple there. Yeah, instantly recognisable left back.
Yeah, we've got a fascinating game, Martin, here because it's one of those matches where.
Just to tell you, Andy, that is Javier Bardem, who's married to Penelope Cruz, which gives him good status, I think.
Certainly does.
Spanish actor.
Yes.
Great standing.
Just going to say, difficult game to call this one. Usually when you come to a game, you have a bit of a gut feeling what you think might happen. And I'm sure for the millions that are tuning in right now and watching it around the world, probably the same. Not quite sure how this one is going to develop. So many fascinating matchups, so many good areas, strong areas of the field for both teams.
Sometimes knowing so much.
Saya belum kan. Harga baik.
Over respect early on, maybe not on the tackles. Sean Evans. By the medium out. Right in front of Roberto Martinez. It's such a great setting for World Cup matches here in Texas. One more game we played in this stadium. This was a semi-final. switched in.
Interesting, Nuno Mendes going really close to him there. As that ball is switched,
To the good and the great of Pierre there. Carlos Puyol to the left.
yes,
He's the predecessor to the Correa with the hair. And it's a great excuse for the whole team to get the band back together. Spain looking to fix them here. Apologizing for not playing for that, but in the form he's in, why not have a shot?
yeah, I think he's done exactly the right thing there. Pinch the ball nicely, and again,
Bring him out. Yeah. Was it good for the team yet? Tentative in these early moments defensively. Spain win it back again in Portuguese territory. Kubasi.
I'm just going to say, Martin, one of the most fascinating matchups is these two guys all in close quarters right now. Yamal and Nuno Mendes. Nuno Mendes, such an attack-minded fullback, will charge forward at every opportunity. Does the meat go with him? Does he track him? Or does he stay and hope that his teammates can turn the ball over and then find him really quickly?
Diaz, Miguel Cancelo. Diaz is the one player getting starting 11 who's running the risk of missing the quarterfinal. So he gets a yellow card. For you to make your point again because he run well off the medium out.
Yeah, gone with him.
Maybe that's the tactic. Leave it to the defenders.
It's good with it yet. Pedro Porro.
He's quite an attacking player himself. Kubasi, great dispute thread, dragging the ball back in his own penalty area and tipping it forward. It's Bruno Fernandes, one of a legion of star players. It's been so much about Cristiano Ronaldo. Bruno hasn't really made the headlines. He's finished a fabulous season with Manchester United. Football reviewers, football writers, the PFA Player of the Year. Where it's away. Yamal scored the very late winning goal in that European final against England. Danny Olmo. What's the move? All right. Olmo again. It's important. You've been through this, but get your touches in early to feel that you're part of the game.
Oh, definitely. You want to take part in these matches, Mark. You don't want to let it skip past you. It can happen sometimes. It really can, as hard as you try and you want to get amongst it all. The game seems to operate down the other side of the field or in other areas. Just can't seem to get involved enough.
Coutinho. That's a very good playing it back to his goalkeeper. He was the player who inadvertently touched the ball.
Yeah.
The offside call was correct.
Croatia
To stop Croatia equalising right at the very end. Portugal to strike the first blow here. Full drive from João Cancelo. Playing the deeper touchdown. The officials have gone off with that. That's very positive.
He's another one who likes to get up, charge forward into, particularly there's space in front of him. João Cancelo will eat it up, literally.
Sweeney.
Probably should have gotten about a game where we've got four more attack-minded fullbacks than what we've got on view here this evening.
Yang bareng Portugal.
Caught by Kubasi. Very good. She does play in Spain with Villarreal. lot of clubs for once so young. Proudly boast these big 7 different languages, which is a fantastic life skill in itself, let alone football. There he is.
Oh man, offset tuh. Deh, masuk juga kagak. Offset sih tapi. Tuh anjir, dongo. Tolol banget.
On his left foot, all he had to do is look at the goalie and hit the target. He's actually well wide of the target. That's a poor strike, really. From someone that's been amongst the
Itu
goals,
offset cepet tuh.
very reliable in that sort of situation. That's a big moment.
Bilalin. Laut tuh main. Itu Spanyol kan main.
You see that a lot from him, where we're sort of stopping what we do for it's not a flying machine in that area. Japanese very talented and has great awareness of a teammate running into a good position.
Lining up the corner. Taylor is well used to doing and pushing and shoving into the Premier League is no doubt the set pieces these days. Ronaldo trying to get through, he's being tapped back actually.
Yeah, it was Rodri that was marking Cristiano Ronaldo, trying to work a little block.
Here's Rodri. That's away. Tini, who read any interviews that he's given, they'll tell you how massive doubts he had that he'd ever make it as a top player. What the players we've got. Paris Saint-Germain, Portugal. No great faith. Luis Enrique playing them together. We've really got self-confidence into a player who now plays as though he believes he runs the world.
Yeah, he's been outstanding for his club, PSG, and at the heart of their success over the last couple of seasons.
Also, Luis Enrique was the coach of Spain in the last World Cup and didn't do very well. He's admitted that. What's in Morocco?
Watch this here. This is that little block, Martin. Watch, he tries to block. See that? They're just clattering to João Neves.
Ronaldo.
So as Ronaldo can just try and be a bit elusive.
Kebiasaan.
Is concerned, but
Lawan sama dia gimana?
as ever, what a way with it. There's a lot of that goes on.
Cuma terlalu iya anjir. Udah dah, udah kiper kayak gitu emane. Nyantai deh emang ditewak sih ya. Padahal ditewak game tentang iya. Gitu sih lupa. Sama terlalu iya.
Could have done that. It's only like the touch and then did the little step on the bottom. It just might have made the shot in a little bit harder.
Terlalu bias anjir.
First job was done there. Hit the target. Make the goalkeeper save it.
Portugal will be the first team to score against Spain in the USA 2026. We'll continue to the members.
Aduh, anjing tadi makstream kieu aing di makstream deh.
course they've got so many
Satu
talented
lagi di UI.
players that know each other. I think they're
Yang kadang di di pola play itu
they feel like they
nulis Inggris itu ditempokeun ieu nah.
change.
Mari ge normal ditempokeun yang sakali men.
Now coming inside and leaving actually space for Pedro Porro down the right hand side, but going in the opposite direction to Cucurella. Just left. The team that's got Chelsea for Real Madrid. Going back home. Lost the ball in a rather dangerous area. Dani Olmo takes it on. See a little bit of the urgency. Alex Bayona, who's had a good tournament, really
Salah
stepped
jong
up,
anjir.
put himself a starting berth.
Lamin mana?
And out by Pedro Porro. Correa. Oh, maybe put the goalkeeper.
I think he did just for a split second. I think the goalie was going to come and sort that himself. He was quickly had to make sure that he tidied it up.
Rodri. Pedri. Another of these players who started international football at a ridiculously young age. Come back a bit. Injuries. Pedro Porro. He won previous games. Only 6 Portugal wins. The World Cup. 1 Spain win.
Golana main
3-3
hati-hati
draw in
anjir.
Sheffield. Now they've got fabulous hat-trick. In Sochi. Stage in Russia. Bruno Mendes is off and running. Oh, Bruno Fernandes and Bruno Mendes still goes. Yeah, but it just goes over the defender. The sketch is very difficult, but the bold run, typical of the man.
No way, Yamal.
And here comes Lamine Yamal, typical of him.
Shoot.
Oh,
Oh,
tremendous save.
Kurang tarik
What
bro.
a brilliant passage of
Diego
football.
Costa.
Both sets, both teams. Nuno Mendes so close, and then that's exactly what I mean, Martin. About when he attacks Nuno Mendes, somebody's got to be there to cover. Lamine Yamal had the first strike, and then that one is brilliantly saved from Diego Costa. Really good stuff.
That was Alex Bayona. And they curl it back in. So we have to work both sides of his body and keep it at 0-0.
Olmo nomor 1 bukan.
And let's take the corner.
Cek aing main hati-hati anjir.
To Lamine Yamal.
Ini unu nyendul.
To Cucurella. What a goal that would have been. Christian cross. Still might be on for Spain here. Now with the cross again.
Great defensive header, Ruben Diaz, making sure he nods that one away. Some teasing crosses delivered there by Lamine Yamal. Really good stuff. That's a really good passage of play.
See Pepe in the back line there.
Deco back left.
Yeah. Pepe now with Barcelona, of course.
Yes.
makanya change.
Running the Bears for Nuno Mendes. You must have played against Becca.
I'm not sure, Martin. Not sure if I did.
You're part of
Might
the
have
pitch.
done, yeah. That was social Rui Costa era, Luis Figo,
Yeah.
it's mine. Might be just after those boys.
So, for Pereira, both sides so far have had moments. Ryan again. Well measured. They took a real chance of getting it. Neto and Pereira, of course, clubmates until
Yes,
the last month.
correct. So just a few weeks ago, you're right.
Let's get on that far side, but not in that particular instance. Emmett Smith, a legend of the NFL, and particularly in this part of the world. Generally, they've made such a wonderful job of converting these NFL grounds to the world game. What's going on here, the picture we mentioned before.
Itu komentator Amerika kan.
When you look at those blue lines across the far side, they're actually protecting executive boxes. There's glass behind those at pitch level above the advertising. Yeah, couldn't get it all in because the NFL pitch is so much now.
Ya bro, main hati-hati bro.
A lot of
Paling
work
0-0.
that goes unnoticed. Get
Oh,
these
kayak
kind of special occasions up and running. Mendes.
Neat and tidy, as you would expect, both teams when they got the ball, when they've got good possession.
Pedro Neto. But often prefers to play on the right.
Tukang shoot.
Flag. And now the flag does go.
Good chance.
Cut back with João Cancelo. From an offside position. Pedri. Ooh. Good run from Baena, but he thought he'd be in. Pedri had seen him. This is Dani Olmo to leave Spain to make his career. Actually, Barcelona let him go at 17. Paid a lot of money to get him back. Olmo again. And Brooklyn. Toro made a run in behind. Nuno Mendes and João Felix were trying to police that near side. Sweeter. Penalty by referee Taylor. Baena meaning to feel he's being put upon here by João Cancelo.
He's actually given that, Martin. I think he might have done. I thought for a moment Alex Baena was being told to get back up on his feet, but actually
It happened before the ball was played. I think that's why the delay was. But he's got his decision. Let's give him a good night. Marking from Portugal. Port is in there. Barsi, the centre back, is not the tallest defender in the world. close to either of them. That was an interesting hit from Pedro Porro. Edging towards the hydration break. Andy, what have you made of the? It's a bit more than sparring, isn't it?
Yes. Oh no, yeah. Look, I think both teams have shown decent intent. The best chance so far has fallen to Spain with Yamal, who failed to hit the target, went totally in the clear. I think he'll regret that one. But Portugal have had their moments too. I think it's one of those games, Martin, when both teams have good possession, you can see nobody wants to dive in and make a challenge and put themselves out of the game. I think that's really crucial today, that you keep your shape and then you stay compact. The minute someone steps out of that, tries to do something on their own, you can get picked off very quickly with some one-touch play and you can find yourself a goal behind.
Spain have looked sharp. They've got more players forward into shooting positions. Yeah, Hustlers had to say.
Nak nge juga.
For example, had a shot before that really good chance to be put wide. So from Yamal here and the follow-up player.
Yeah, that's a pretty comfortable stop. It's a nice strike from the Yamal.
It's a bit more good.
That is a different proposition. That's a really good leap to his left and then goes with that right arm on top to get his fingers on it. Very clever. Again, Bruno Fernandes, perhaps a little quiet, Martin, in the opening exchanges.
He played a pass for Ronaldo. Ronaldo had a good shot, but he played the pass without considering his own options, which he perhaps would do in slightly different circumstances.
Yes, I think like to see him maybe trying to get him into a few more positions to get his shots away, because he is so crucial to this team. But look, early stages of a really close matchup, so no surprise in that we've seen glimpses from both teams, but neither really able to grab this game yet.
I've known Roberto Martinez a long time, and he did tell me yesterday when we caught up with each other that he really likes it. You can see how animated he is. He really likes the breaks. It's for coaches. The only the question mark he put on it was 3 minutes, a bit too long, but he's going the distance here, isn't he?
But it does give them the opportunity sometimes when managers and coaches find it difficult to get a message across the players. Well, you can do that.
He obviously saw the Portuguese coach something that he felt he could put right with that kind of discussion. But what Spain had done, perhaps, having to rely on his goalkeeper more times than he would have wanted to. Ruben Diaz. It's a great contest between those two.
Did well there, because Neto was after that, wasn't he? He's very quick, Pedro Neto. He gives them far more direct pace over on that side, but Cucurella is one of those defenders. He'll match anybody up and give as good as he gets.
Yeah, what Pedro Neto does, he speeds the game up, doesn't he? When he gets the ball, he's off.
He does, yeah. He wants it in front of him. That's when he's at his best.
That was, she was saying earlier, straightforward. He's running between the two players. And I can imagine Pedro Neto probably thinks that's his best way of getting the better of Cucurella. He's pretty rapid. Pushing here left back. Lots of the games recently between these two have been drawn. 6 of the last 7 in regulation time. Away by Pedro Porro. Not forward by Ruben Diaz, who had to really exert himself to get a bit of power on the header. Now Coutinho. Now Cancelo. Now the dropping beat to influence proceedings. The possession here. Maybe that's the sort of thing that Roberto Martinez was emphasising.
Patience.
Yeah, a bit more patience.
Just keep it, yeah. Wait for that right moment to be decisive. For the forward pass. You have to go backwards. Don't be afraid to. Lots of teams nowadays, we see Martin recycling the ball, blowing backwards, even go back as far as the goalkeeper at times.
Spain might get a break here.
Counter.
Oh, Yamal not quite for Yamal. There was a gap to try and find.
You know, Nuno Mendes didn't really know where the Yamal was there. Vega does really well to slide and just intercept. Had there been a little more pace on that ball from Dani Olmo, he would have been in and away. Yeah.
There you go. Into Pedro Neto territory. That's the Taylor. Standing Picarella's favour.
Hands.
Handball. It's Kubasi. And Dani Olmo. Pedro Porro goes on the outside here, and he does it steaming forward. That's his game. So one way to deal with it now, Mendes, is make him defend.
Yes. Great run, Pedro Porro there. Really good. He actually does very well, Nuno Mendes, to recover, slide in, and knock that one away. Another corner for Spain.
There to involve the blocking. It's work. Short back to Pedro Porro. The other fullback, Cucurella.
Oh, dude!
The goalkeeper saved Dani Olmo with a header. There was improvisation by Diogo Costa. There's an offside flag in the end. I'm not quite sure which bit of play he flagged for.
I think it's Dani Olmo just there that Al Kubasi is, who tries to get on the end of that, which made life very difficult there for Diogo Costa. Having to go with his foot, and he cushioned it right back into the path of Olmo, who couldn't get any real power on it, but would have been flagged anyway.
Now on Ronaldo. Aymeric Laporte. Born in France, of
Ninja.
course. Naturalised on the residence qualification for Spain. In fact, talking point, where their countries of birth have been for the players who are not representing their countries of birth. How international football's had to adapt to that with the globalisation of the population. A fair bit of tenacity from Bruno Fernandes, but he showed it.
That's a bit of a shank. We've gone off the up there. Got away with it.
It's a remarkable record for Unai Simon. 519 minutes before this game started. And conceding a goal. He's never been really regarded as an absolute top-class keeper. And yet, De La Fuentes, who obviously had him young in the underage teams, he's been an absolute standout.
Man.
Vega. I think they've got David Raya, who's just won the Premier League with Arsenal in the Champions League final. He's more of a footballing goalkeeper, if you understand what I mean.
I think that they've got great competition, Martin, haven't they? As you say, Unai Simon, not always in everyone's top 10 of world goalkeepers, but does a great job for his team.
Whereas Yamal, still be ruining that missed chance, but with all good strikers, you forget about it. In the end, think about the next one. Here's Yamal again. For Dani Olmo has made a terrific run.
Nah nih gak
Really caught Portugal out with his
ngambil
movement there.
Great play.
kalah kaca
Brilliant work.
hiji.
He's very elusive, Dani Olmo. And then he's
Ah.
running in behind Portugal's back line, then he's playing in the pocket in the number 10 position. Then he drops even deeper in front of Portugal's midfield, but no one's ever quite sure where he is.
For Correa. Working that
Anu
left-hand
nyendul
side,
nah
away
bro.
by Renato Vega. He'll have to retreat again. Rodri. Now Pedro Porro. For Yamal. Pedri. Not really a gap for him to go through.
Yamal.
Looked fairly enough, but maybe not from Anthony Taylor's angle.
Clear.
Mendes got a foot in, so Yamal doing the right thing, wanted to pitch it back. Not a lot wrong with that, to
Ronaldo
be honest with you.
wae sih. Sliding udah gitu.
Cancelo. And back to Diego Costa.
Pressure again from Spain. All round.
Just a little extra sharpness you feel, don't you, Andy, about Spain? Or
Yeah,
maybe you see it different?
No, look, there's not a lot in the game, Martin, but Spain are so tidy in possession. They're very, very good. But Portugal, certainly, also very capable. But the Spanish team, there is a nice rhythm to what they do when they keep in possession.
The goalkeeper's goal. Talk about players from other countries. He was born in Switzerland. Diego Costa. Obviously to a Portuguese family. So now the qualification. Ruben Diaz. Correa really took a chance there. Anything over the top of him, and Pedro Neto would have been sprinting away behind him.
Got better options, Spain, I think, Martin, when they're looking forward at the moment. Whether it be fullbacks, getting in advanced positions as Pedro Porro is here to the right of Kubasi, or people like Dani Olmo starting to become a little more influential. There's space.
Down there, they're struggling to find a way out. And Cancelo too, just that could have been intercepted by Olmo. Cristiano Ronaldo. João Felix. Taken on by Coutinho. Advantage played by referee Taylor. Jan Neves. Cancelo. Bruno Fernandes. Cristiano Ronaldo is very good in the air still.
Oh!
He's going back a clever try from Ronaldo to try and just knock it over his shoulder into an unguarded net. João Felix paid a price for his bravery getting to the ball, crashed into the hole. Look at Ronaldo now.
Yeah. Unai Simon there came for the initial cross and was floundering a little bit. He did well to get a fingertip on that. João Felix knocked back to Ronaldo and then make that stop. Ronaldo couldn't really get any power on it. Back to goal and facing the wrong way. But nice play from Portugal. Good work. João Felix at the back post. Didn't give it up. Kept believing he could keep it in. And That was almost a very useful situation for Portugal, but the goalie there steps off his line to come and get it. If he does that, he's got to make sure he grabs it. Unfortunately, he wasn't quite aware of where he was.
No penalty.
Portugal's first attempt since the 12th minute. It was a very, you can get 40, 50, 60-year-olds, but you've still got pictures in your head like Cristiano Ronaldo had then. To see that the goal was, there was a chance of diverting the ball to the goal.
I mean, he had always had that about him, Martin. Even when the legs perhaps aren't quite as powerful as they once were, his awareness watch. Decent ball in from Pedro Neto. Goalie had a little bit all over the place, but does well to get back up and recover.
Pedro Neto
Nah, iya anjir.
at the centre of and has to be Taylor judgment that he's not quite in tune with. It will be dropped. Yeah.
Ya, seimbang sih
Not
lumayan
easy to get that
seimbang.
ball on nowadays, Martin, isn't it? Hey, look. Just literally
like those,
slide your foot in.
those slip-in trainers.
That's it, they are.
But they're designed for people your age. The boots are designed for Pedro Neto. I know. I've got 3 or 4 pairs here. Not football boots. Here is Felix in the centre of attention again. Pedro Porro is going to get talking to.
Yeah, he's giving as much chance as he possibly can, Anthony Taylor here. That's a little bit niggly from Pedro Porro. Fullback wanting to let a winger know exactly that he's there, but I don't think there'll be too many more before Anthony Taylor starts clamping down on a few of those. What a switch that is.
And what an anticipation by João Cancelo. You realise that he set up and dictated the pass, actually. He was on his bike. This is given as a corner. It might be one of those that will be checked.
Great run. Great run from João Cancelo. Portugal fullbacks, they can do that from first minute to last. Charge up and down. Not a problem for them.
And the boots now to Pedro Neto's liking. This congested goal area. Unai Simon. I need to have a clear view of this. To see if it's whipped in with pace.
I presume that chunk out the back of his boot was deliberate, Martin.
We can go on all day about what the modern player does. I think there's an advantage to be gained. Scoring a goal is the best way to get an advantage.
Oh! Anjir.
Nuno Mendes, deflection along the way.
As soon as I saw
Yang
the
saya
defense, I thought
bilang
it was in.
bagus nih.
Just a little bit too much room there for Nuno Mendes, who is not afraid to let fly from that sort of distance. Watch this, he hits this nice and hard, he really does. And it's Pedro Porro. You're always tempted to put something on it if you can, but it can often fly past your own goalkeeper.
It's disappearing from sight. Nuno Mendes, the best purchase on the long throw, but
Salah ngalung.
seen something which I think needs to
Nah, bro.
probably retaken.
Yeah, smart Cucurella
Go
went
ahead,
down.
man, go
Anthony
ahead,
Taylor was seeing them getting involved a
Tak
little bit.
wasit, wasit Premier League.
Throwing to be retaken.
And it's not a long throw on the retake. It's a cross. The best one from Nuno Mendes. João Felix trying to win it back.
Yamal, counter.
Someone's up with it.
Bisa leutik mah.
Great feed. And still sitting on the ground expecting to get the free kick. Spain did have the ball, not quite in the most advantageous situation, but they've worked it back again. And is that a double trick? No.
That's really good defensive work from João Felix. Watching the stride to stride, getting back and just getting an all-important footing.
Not much margin for error there.
No, you haven't got long either, Martin. If you do receive that ball 40 yards from the opposition goal, it won't be long before someone is trying to pinch it off you. You've got to make that decision pretty quickly. What are you going to do with it?
Vega. Coutinho. Now Felix actually emerged the last 10 minutes or so as quite a significant figure in the match. Trying to push Portugal onwards, but doing his share in the opposite direction. And Bruno Fernandes has got some space here. Ronaldo, maybe if he'd been a little bit more central, the pass had taken him a bit more central, he might have shot from that range.
Yeah, that's his first thought all the time, Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, can he get a yard and get his shot away? Couldn't there, it was a long way out.
It's Pedro Neto. Coutinho. Some of these players were playing in the States last year with their club sides. Neto had a great tournament in the Club World Cup. He scored 3 goals. Chelsea won it. Nuno Mendes. Yamal, who I'm sure has been briefed about what he's going to do. He would rather be doing what he nearly accomplished a couple of minutes ago. That should be the goalkeeper's ball. He is competent with Simon.
Yeah, nice work, neat and tidy, nice and clean with the catch. And now they're just hovering a little bit in behind Unai Simon, but good work.
Pedro Porro. Spain threatening. Portugal not without sign up to a punch of their own. Here's Bayern for Correa. Laporte takes over. Well, Danny almost found space again.
Shoot.
Yamal couldn't quite switch it.
No.
And then a hit from
Salah
Rodri,
Jong
Rodri, yeah. 6 added minutes for half time.
It's a fan on the receiving end of that one from Rodri. I think you can see Danny Olmo on the right side of the screen there saying, let's keep the ball. Always tempting, Martin, midfield players when you're in that shooting range. And it's afterwards you either, or you often regret that perhaps you didn't just go wide and keep the pressure on. Just release all the pressure when you blast it over the bar.
I'm sure you blast plenty into the opponent's net, by the way.
I can tell you there was a good few that went over the top as well.
I did see some of those too. João Neves.
Ronaldo.
Makes the run. Starting out in time was Unai Simon. Spain tried to act quickly from the goalkeeper's distribution, but Portugal get back very quickly. And it's Bayern. Pedro Porro. Play it.
Yamal.
Mendes,
Hey,
Yamal.
Yamal.
They did just that, but it was offside. It wouldn't have counted.
Oh, Sam.
Good movement from him there. I think he's got to mix it up with against Nuno Mendes. Look,
Yeah.
just has to just dart in behind. Once you make that decision, you can't wait. I don't think Pedro Porro did a lot wrong there. He's just always a little too early and going to be offside, but that's better from him. He can have it to feet, but also skip in behind occasionally.
Playing you sense really looking to up it before the break here. Got a free kick. Not a great angle for the challenge.
No. a long way out, this one, Martin, an awful long way out. And we have seen them over the years. Previous World Cups, we've seen them fly in from this sort of range, but that's a lot.
By the way, that's a nice banner, isn't it? The legend versus the future. Ronaldo versus Levine. Yes, but it is a ball that stays hit. We've emphasised that plenty of times. We've seen some wonderful goals struck from outside the penalty area. And plenty of headers as well. Might be more the latter route to an opening goal here. And that was actually on target, but I think it was offside on the initial knockback.
The game's gone pretty much according to plan, hasn't it? It's very tight. It really is. The first goal in this one is going to be huge for whichever team is able to find it. But they both had their moments.
I think it could have been tighter, couldn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
I was telling Andy before the game, a very good friend in Portuguese football said, be prepared for a long game, hinting that there will be a lot of caution involved. It's been sensible defensive play, but creativity hasn't been off the menu. Well done by Nuno Mendes. João Neves. It's another of the Paris Saint-Germain players involved in this game.
Ini perasaan peluang kan dikit banget.
It's a nice idea just to reverse it back. It's not too much on it. They're doing that, fetching and carrying and passing the responsibility of the ball to others. Like Zabal, Correa, Zabal again. Spain going nowhere on that passage of play.
Yeah, it's getting too deep there. Oyazabal getting involved.
Speaking of the mind, yeah.
Really want to be doing that.
It's really
Bruno perasaan tuh kata
they played it through the middle of his club and now for his country. And running through the middle here at the other end is Felix. He never really settled in one club. Oyarzábal's only played for one club, Real Sociedad, whereas Corrigo's careering across. João Felix is
jauh
been around the block a
teuing
few
bro,
times.
Yes, he has.
jauh
Yeah.
teuing.
Never really stuck it out for a significant period of time anywhere. But he's talented. He's a very talented boy. He can play in a number of positions. He can play as a 10. He's playing off one side. It's not ideal for him today, but both teams, Martin, have got some good players on the bench. You know, who
Oke
can
lah,
have big effect in this game too. It
Yeah.
might come to that. It might well come to whichever manager is brave enough to make those changes first. That could be the difference.
Well, at half time, there has been plenty of efforts. Nuno Mendes shot deflecting onto the crossbar, the closest we've seen. Diogo Costa's had to make some saves, probably more saves than his opposite number. But one or two of them have been routine.
Main hati-hati banget anjir.
Reach the break in Dallas. Portugal 0, Spain 0.
Udah saya duga. No, no.
Ini yang saya sukai, berekspresi, membawa pesan yang positif. Kalau panas banget, bantu ledakan dengan ada batang.
belanja bulanan, beli baju,
Akan kuhadapi dunia, tapi mobil dulu. Pemirsa, pertandingan sangat ketat dan tentunya kita lihat tidak ada gol yang tercipta di babak pertama. Sementara ini Portugal 0, Spanyol 0, dan bagaimana kedua pelatih memainkan tempo yang tentunya juga kita lihat menjadi salah satu kunci dia punya gol bermain yang sangat baik di Costa dan juga Unai Simon. Seperti apa pertandingan melihat di babak pertama memang tidak ada gol, tapi saya rasa ini pertandingan strategi yang sangat jitu dari kedua pelatih Roberto Martinez hingga pilih Philip Fraser.
Ya, Spanyol seperti yang kita prediksi dia melakukan press build up ya, memaksa pemain belakang Portugal melakukan kesalahan. 5 menit awal sempat ada kepanikan di lini pertahanan Portugal, tapi setelah itu mengalir dan estamos con segundo de la segunda porque es así, entonces esta primera mitad en la que la mitad de vuelta.
Sí, creo que hemos jugado bien el partido, creo que hemos jugado muchos minutos a donde queríamos, hemos creado situaciones de gol, no hemos conseguido materializarlas, en algunos momentos nos ha provocado un poco de ansiedad y de irritación, pero luego hemos vuelto al partido, hemos vuelto a dominar, hemos vuelto a jugar donde queríamos, pero al final, pues nada, que un perdió una bolsa, que un balón parado, que estábamos diciendo que para la a la espalda, nos ha quedado todo para el equipo de división, pero creo que los próximos minutos también hemos vuelto a mandar en el partido, que es nuestra intención. Hasta que balón como un balón y nada, buscar un par de cosillas y esperamos que la primera parte no tengamos rotaciones y que tengamos este tipo de partidos.
Ahora que tiene que realizar.
Gracias.
Ricardo, que avaliação faz desta primeira parte? Um jogo muito equilibrado, com oportunidades de parte à primeira parte para já, tem que ser saído da rede de distribuição.
Mais um valor, uma defesa que nós fazemos, agora o outro. Não significamos marcar uma liga de duas para uma defesa nossa. Somos jogadores que têm jogar, nós começamos a fazer um jogo muito dividido. A nossa marcha grande, acho que estamos bem. Um jogo entre duas equipas que procuram sempre bola, tem que ter bola, e nós queremos mais bola, e eu não tenho dúvidas nenhuma que temos mais vontade, mais força, mais garra, e que na segunda parte vamos conseguir bater esse muro com este parte.
Qual vai ser a mensagem agora no intervalo para os jogadores? Como é que dá isto?
O desafio é continuar, porque isto, à medida que o jogo vai crescendo, aqueles que conseguem ser mais fortes mentalmente, o processo que estamos a fazer, aquilo que os jogadores têm trabalhado exaustivamente, tem que ser respondido em tudo aquilo. Isto estou a fazer agora, mas lá temos uma equipa sempre, uma equipa forte, já não há equipas fáceis, por isso temos que ter bastante cuidado naquilo que estamos a fazer, porque não é ao minuto 1, não é ao minuto 70, o jogo tem 90, se calhar 120 e é nesse caminho que estamos fazendo. Obrigado.
Sebelum kita bahas bagaimana pernyataan dari Asia pelatih dari kedua negara, tentu kita akan lihat bagaimana status pertandingan di babak pertama, di mana konsisten Portugal 36 berbanding 48, unggul Spanyol akan golnya 5 berbanding 8, menakar antar kita 2 berbanding 3. Hasilnya cukup rendah, 0,21 berbanding 0,47, sedangkan kasus kompetitif itu memang unggul Spanyol. Seperti apa? Iqbal melihat dari statistik babak pertama. Kalau kita lihat permainan dari babak pertama dan juga berdasarkan statistik, ini laga yang ketat dan juga seimbang. Tapi bagi penonton netral tentu menyenangkan ya, karena permainan ternyata cukup terbuka dengan total ada 13 tembakan. Tadi sudah dikatakan 8 dari Spanyol, 5 dari Portugal. Dan kedua tim juga memainkan peran dari karakter tim masing-masing di Mutil. Ya, Cristiano Ronaldo versus Mikel Oyarzabal. Ini juga tentunya mereka belum ciptakan gol, tapi akan unggul sama 2. Sedangkan on target Ronaldo lebih unggul 2 dibanding 1 dan lebih banyak Oyarzabal ya bereaksi atau kita lihat terlibat dalam penyerangan dari Spanyol.
Ya, kalau kita lihat Oyarzabal ada peluang yang bersih sekali tadi di awal, namun tendangannya out ya. Ronaldo lebih banyak tendangan tidak terlalu keras yang diamankan dari gawang. Kita lihat
ya, final third entries 20 berbanding 29 dan lebih efektif Spanyol juga lebih dari sisi kanan ya, ada 9 kali, sedangkan kita lihat bagi Portugal tampaknya di sisi kanan. Spanyol kiri kanan tengah mereka cukup efektif. Betul. Ya. Memang ini juga menandakan bagaimana
penyebaran pemainnya ini merata ya, karena di sisi kanan dari Spanyol ada Yamal yang dibantu oleh Pedro Porro, sedangkan sisi kanan dari Portugal ada Joao Cancelo yang kerap naik untuk mengimbangi permainan dari Pedro Neto.
Jadi artinya gimana? Kejadian kalau melihat tadi dari final third entry termasuk kita saksikan hal ini.
Iya, kalau kita lihat memang lebih banyak final third entry dari Spanyol ya. Ada kurang lebih 4 penyelamatan dilakukan oleh penjaga gawang Diego Costa. Dan ini diimbangi dengan bagaimana baiknya Juan Felix kemudian Pedro Neto membantu pertahanan di sisi terutama di sisi sampingnya, di mana mencoba menghentikan Lamine Yamal dan Porro. Sementara di sisi kiri kita melihat bagaimana juga Portugal menjawab dengan wing play mereka, walaupun mereka sedikit ada tekanan, tetapi mereka memainkan wing play untuk bisa keluar dari press build up yang dilakukan oleh pemain Spanyol.
Ya, kalau beberapa kali tadi peluang masih termasuk satu umpan terobosan ya, yang memang lepas dari jebakan offside, tapi penampilan 23 gol ini, Imam, saya rasa dua pemain penting dalam play babak pertama ini.
Ya, termasuk ini yang peluang terbuka dan gagal, tapi memang ada peran dari Diego Costa yang maju untuk mempersulit peluang tembak ya. Jadi membuat padanya Zala pun tidak nyaman untuk melepaskan tembakan, tapi memang betul kedua penjaga memainkan peran luar biasa, khususnya bagi Diego Costa. Total 3 save yang ia catatkan dan 2 di antaranya adalah big save, sedangkan bagi Unai Simon meskipun ancaman on targetnya tidak sebanyak yang dihadapi oleh Diego Costa, tapi Unai Simon ini cukup bisa bereaksi dan dia piawai untuk membaca arah bola begitu.
Ya, beberapa kali Spanyol memang melakukan high press, ini membuat kesulitan ya bagi para pemain. Jadi kita lihat dulu, bagaimana penyelamatan double save dilakukan oleh Diego Costa.
Ya, cukup baik ya, bahkan di PSG Buffon meletakkan Diego Costa sebagai top 1 dari 10 penjaga gawang terbaik di Piala Dunia kali ini. Dan kalau kita lihat dua gaya bermain yang berbeda, di mana Spanyol melakukan press build up, early pressing ketika hilang bola, sementara Portugal melakukan serangan melalui wing play, dan ketika mereka hilang bola mereka drop back ke on half atau lapangan sendiri.
Ya, dan Unai Simon pun melakukan penyelamatan ya, kita lihat juga penampilan sangat baik. Ini berkali-kali tadi penjaga sudah kita bahas di awal, dua penjaga memang sangat bagus penampilannya, terbukti mereka melakukan banyak penyelamatan. Ya, jika bukan mereka mungkin ada gol tercipta.
Betul. Ini juga menjadi penampilan ke-10 bagi Diego Costa di Piala Dunia dan menjadi penjaga gawang Portugal pertama yang bisa mendapatkan jumlah pertandingan sebanyak tersebut. Dan tentunya juga kalau kita lihat ada perbedaan dari gaya menyerang ya. Tadi sudah dikatakan oleh Coach Chen bahwa permainan dua unit play dua tim cukup dominan, tapi secara karakter agak berbeda. Kalau Spanyol ini agak menusuk dengan permainan cutting inside, sedangkan bagi Portugal ada momen di mana Joao Felix mendapatkan long bola langsung ya dari area samping, dan itu satu tendangan Nuno Mendes yang mengenai misa gawang. Ini kembali menunjukkan bagaimana kedua tim mengadakan unit play, tapi Portugal ini lebih direct, lebih bisa mengancam dari jarak jauh, baik itu dari crossing ataupun tendangan jarak langsung ke arah gawang lawan.
Itu yang terbaik Ronaldo, masih bisa dibaca yang tadi oleh Simon, recovery posisi yang sangat baik ya.
Ya, umpan switch play yang dilakukan dari sisi kanan memberikan umpan kepada Juan Felix yang tahu persis bagaimana servis Ronaldo, tapi kali ini bolanya memang lebih dekat ke penjaga gawang.
Ya, pendekatan strategi apa yang tidak berjalan dari kedua negara dari pengamatan Anda tentunya?
Iya, yang pasti ketika Spanyol mencoba memberikan tekanan di press build up, dia berharap build up yang dilakukan oleh Portugal ada kesalahan, ya, sehingga lebih dekat ke gawang Portugal dan bisa menciptakan gol. Ini tidak tercipta di babak pertama, tetapi ini juga yang menjadi kesulitan bagi Portugal ketika mereka mencoba membangun build up dan terhalang di lapangan tengah. Tetapi jalan keluar yang mereka coba lakukan adalah switch play. Ini cukup memberikan arti karena beberapa kali switch play yang mereka lakukan, dari sinilah mereka mendapatkan attempt on goal.
Ya, dan kita masih belum melihat adanya gol, tapi ini peluang terbaik juga dimiliki. Sedangkan dari Nico Gomez tadi, ini tadi sempat dibahas ya oleh Kesenian, bagaimana set piece ya. Set piece dari Portugal ini salah satu yang terbaik.
Betul. Dan beberapa variasi ini terlihat dari penampilan sejak di fase grup ya, dan ini tentu dilatih, dan melatih set piece itu perlu waktu yang lama, bahkan kita latihan 1 tahun baru keluar dalam satu pertandingan.
Belum tentu ada ya.
Belum ada.
Nah, juga lah Bang, lihat taktis yang jadi salah satu andalan dari Portugal di Piala Dunia kali ini.
Ya, aktivitas servisnya banyak ya, tidak hanya crossing, tapi juga beberapa ada kombinasi passing di area dekat lalu ke satu jarak jauh. Ini menjadi warna sendiri bagi para kaum Spanyol dalam bermain. Namun kalau kita melihat juga di babak pertama tadi, kalau ada satu hal yang kurang dari Portugal adalah rest defense. Beberapa peluang dari Spanyol, termasuk peluang Mikel Oyarzabal, Yamal, Alex Baena, itu berawal dari rest defense Portugal yang agak lambat. Transisinya mungkin cepat, tapi mereka kurang bisa bereaksi terhadap momen pertama mereka kehilangan bola.
Ya, tadi kita lihat rekor kembali terjadi dari sisi penonton ya. Fans yang menyaksikan ini luar biasa, memang stadionnya cukup banyak. Kapasitasnya memudahkan bagi FIFA untuk kembali memecahkan rekor penonton yang hadir.
Ya, apalagi ini pertandingan yang diperlukan dua kekuatan dunia ya. Yang satu memiliki wonderkid yang sedang panas-panasnya, yang satu lagi memiliki legenda dunia Cristiano Ronaldo. Bahkan tadi di tribun ada dua supporter langsung dari Bangladesh yang datang ke Dallas ini untuk hanya menyaksikan Cristiano Ronaldo, dan itu kembali menunjukkan bagaimana daya pikat laga ini begitu luar biasa Bung.
Ya, the legend versus the future. Ini jadi tadi yang kita lihat ya penonton ya. Ya. The future sama Yamal. Apakah Yamal sebagai masa depan sepak bola dunia tadi sudah menampilkan permainan terbaik?
Sejauh ini belum Atio, karena baru ada satu time on goal. Memang ketika dia memegang bola sangat berbahaya pergerakan yang dilakukan, terutama saat kita ke dalam ruang pun ada ini ada satu kali tendangan tadi untuk oleh tiga gawang di Costa, dan selebihnya kekurangan dari Lamine Yamal adalah sulit untuk melakukan transisi bertahan. Tadi kita lihat beberapa kali dia mencoba melakukan transisi bertahan justru selalu pelanggaran.
Ya, saya tadi ada kelas interview ya dengan João Gonçalves asal dari Spanyol, dan juga ada Inaki Gara-Gara dari Portugal. Anda bisa melihat tadi ada sedikit yang bisa Anda ungkapkan.
Ya, kedua pelatih mempunyai statement hampir sama. Mereka puas dengan penampilan di babak pertama dan akan melanjutkannya. Bagi Spanyol, mereka tadi sampaikan mereka punya banyak attempt dan menunggu gol tercipta, dan kalau itu terjadi maka mereka akan mencoba untuk memainkan cara bermain yang lain. Jadi kita mau perlu lihat di babak kedua. Dan untuk Portugal, mereka tetap mengandalkan pemain yang ada dan mungkin belum akan melakukan pergantian.
Menit di ruang ganti itu tidak sampai ya, hanya 5 menit atau 7 menit ya. Jadi bagi pelatih tentunya hanya butuh 5 atau hanya punya 5 atau 7 menit untuk bisa berubah pertandingan babak kedua.
Ya, kalau kita hitung 15 menit dari fluid terakhir babak pertama sampai ke fluid kick off babak kedua ada 15 menit, tapi lorong dari ruang ganti ke lapangan itu kurang lebih dia PP itu 7 menit tuh. Sementara tinggal 7 menit waktu untuk pelatih berada di ruang ganti.
Ya, tentu kita akan segera menyaksikan pertandingan babak kedua. Portugal menghadapi Spanyol.
Ini yang saya sukai, berekspresi, membawa pesan yang positif. Kalau panas dalam, bantu redakan dengan yang ada batang.
Roketin koneksimu bersama My Republic. Sekarang kamu bisa main game favoritmu tanpa nge-lag. Hadir dengan beberapa pilihan speed yang kencang banget. Gamer itu harus punya ambisi buat menang. My Republic, interest serius buat gamer ambisius.
No hawks in red as they go head to head again to try and separate. Geographically, there's Obviously, a very narrow divide between the two countries, and Andy Townsend, a very narrow divide between the two football teams.
Yeah, nothing much to choose between them, Martin. Spain edged it in the first half, but only just. Still a great opportunity for either team here to score first and go and put themselves in pole position.
Well, that search for the opening goal goes on from the start of the second half.
Bruh.
Zabot. He's still ruining that first half. Don't got away from him. He knows he's got the capacity to still win the game. On the counter-attack is Pedro Neto, speeding up the match again, as he loves to do. His teammates gradually get...
Chứ làm nè.
Just as he chops back there, Pedro Neto, chance goes away, and that's a
Léo tadi pengen ya.
Bruno Fernandes in the end comes to
Harusnya kamar dengan Kroasia.
He's got Aymeric Laporte is backing him up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. I think both teams have got to be a little braver in the last third.
Yes, it's not exactly risk averse, but no one's taking too many, are they?
No, not enough, I don't think. Just looking at the options available to both coaches, Roberto Martinez really does have some strong options forward-wise, attacking-wise on that bench with Rafael and Gonzalo Ramos, Trincao, etc. These are very gifted players.
Here's Ruben Diaz. Neto chopping back infield again. Maybe trying to get up the outside. We get a throw after this. No, he won't.
The god himself.
Spain, it's their 17th World Cup, going back when looking at the history of the competition. 13th in a row. Being sturdy competitors, culminating in that success in South Africa back in 2010, where they beat Portugal in the round of 16 in Cape Town, 1-0. Could be a 1-0 here. Could be either way.
Made the most of that, Ronaldo there, really. I don't think there's that much contact with Dani Olmo. The ball just got away. That reaction says it all, but Anthony Taylor gives the free kick and another chance.
It's the big Spanish fan. The actor Javier Bardem. Very well known in his home country as an actor and producer as well. Famous fan for the Spain brigade here.
Lila lo bagaya teuing Don. Sabi ya? Bruno. Seriusan Bruno na teka tempo sih Bruno.
Here's Bruno Fernandes. Caught a little bit out of shape.
Malah lebih halus Bruno Mendes ke create chance, dude.
Neither one thing or the other from João Cancelo.
The situation they're in once more, Portugal, but without anything significant on target.
Ya Spanyol kayak emang butut sih nama.
Edge Portugal into
Tidak bermain memang pemain muda. Untuknya. Lo tolol aja. Marahin aman gini coy, lah main langsung aja dong.
Yamal
cut inside wae. Aduh.
Si Yamal tadi gagal dribble we anjir.
Udah cut inside mana tidak.
individual battles going on.
Perasaan
below the
baheula
pitch,
jarang cut inside
in
deh.
the wide areas. Yeah. Strong
Ndeng kok si iya we juga si Gakpo ti tadi ge.
Yeah, the back in and probably
Perasaan
knew exactly
baheula
where
tara make cut
Ronaldo Vega was
inside deh.
behind him.
Kayak
So
gue
it was
nge-shoot
pretty
meureun.
nicely timed the interception.
On the ball from Ruben Diaz, Cucurella underneath it. Actually, Taylor's refereed Mark Cucurella many times.
VT-nya cen
Tina came back.
back bro back.
Now here is Pedro Neto.
Kurela lu bukan
Cucurella
back.
miles out of
Ayeuna
position.
Pedro Neto.
across. And
Pedro
it wasn't the
Neto.
worst ball because it's gone out for a throw.
Yeah, Alex Fine is lucky there because he's the one that gives the ball away. And Cucurella, look on the left of the screen, has gone.
Sebenarnya entong dikalahkan di itu dah.
Pedro Neto has got the ball absolutely where he wants it. Decides to go rightly on the outside, but the ball in is neither one thing nor the other. It's a bit too quick along the floor. He could have stood it up a little bit, give Ronaldo a chance to put his head on it, but quality wasn't quite there.
There is Baena. Now, Danny Olmo. He goes again. Nuno Mendes.
Kurang tarik.
Didn't have to get out of third gear, really.
Ah beunang, dongo.
Tall, elegant player that's playing number 10, but he's not absolutely going to outrun you. Christian Vieri,
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
Christian Vieri is. Oh, that's what he had.
Well, Italy and of course very much Australia as well. Good to see him.
Aduh do.
This is what Olmo is good at, finding space.
Yes.
Keeping the game ticking over, giving
Yamal.
the Yamal a chance really.
Kita menung ada getan tuh dah, boy. Malah bro ingat dengan sana langsung.
It's the first time that Yamal has set him up and really sprinted beyond him. Nuno Mendes on that occasion was struggling to keep up. Again, on the other side, Alex Baeno's got to get in the box.
Nuno Mendes kayaknya paling bagus gak sih?
In the area, Spain. There are times when people are making good
Real.
runs, getting into good situations, not enough people in that box.
Nuno Mendes was only bruised in the area of pride rather than any actual physical injuries up on his feet. In Spain, we look to work that side again.
Ayolah main keluar lah, bro.
Cucurella. Baena. Rodri.
Ayo mendraw deui lah, penaltian deui.
Kubasi. So a little bit tight between the men on the right, Pedro Porro and Lamine Yamal, and Portugal trying to exploit some space behind them. Ronaldo. Still going.
Bro serius. Dribblingnya parah banget.
Good challenge. Nuno Mendes is down, Martin.
Yeah, maybe it was more than pride. Yeah.
Wah,
That's a big goal.
nasi yang paling halus loh.
Portugal, that is. Because he is a significant part of what they've got going
Justru
forward.
daripada UI anjir.
Making sure he gets back.
Ya, itu kemana ini?
His race is run.
He's the player who's had most touches in the game for Portugal.
Sort of lunged him, didn't he? Because Lamine Yamal had stolen the yard from him. Sort of look about, Martin. When you stretch like that, it can be a hamstring.
Mas VT-nya main gininya.
They're not signaling to.
Iku masih VT-nya Bruno kan kayak tuh bisa nyen.
Chance,
coy. Bikin lah, create chance.
Nelson Semedo.
Spanyol gitu dominan ya mainnya.
You can say the same thing about him as well. Well, we're not sure to cover, but he is very much the main man. Messages, yeah, going back to the bench.
Lamin Yamal.
We're not seeing as a
Diganti.
big screen Emmett Smith, the former
No,
Dallas Cowboy superstar in the NFL world.
Saya
Austin McPhee with the long hair is organising a change, which does see Nelson Semedo, yes, being summoned into the match. It's a toss of a coin match, isn't it? Really?
It is. It is. This is the first enforced change, really.
it's actually
What's that? Give Lamine Yamal, I don't know, a little bit more hope. I mean, now you've got a right-footed left back, so when Lamine steps inside on his left foot,
Nelson
it's going into
Semedo.
Semedo's strength a little bit. But I've said before about when you come on as a sub, sometimes it's not
Terus
quite so
mending
easy
main
to pick
gun
it up.
Leao
The pace of the
dulu dah.
game and the intensity of it.
Ya padahal halus so kemari ngasih sama
Spain will be close.
Bruno ganti Bruno malah dijalan
Talk about
bos.
Lamine Yamal, whether he'll beat Semedo or not, but Milan Mendes won't be galloping into Spanish territory down the left-hand side, which he loves to do and has done successfully against them before. Semedo's quick, but he's not quite that kind of dominator. That's the word. Great word. And Porro is pretty dynamic himself.
Itu sih sebenarnya lebih halus Bernardo Silva sih. Kenapa
Been able to get himself
tetap mainin Bruno Vitinha.
making a move. He was going to go to Atletico Madrid. All the forms were signed and everything.
Bernardo Silva lah, emang udah tua sih tapi yaudah lah mainin aja bro.
Very late approach of the successful one.
Spanyol saing dah rapal anjir. Saya pada gak tahu ini pemainnya siapa coy.
Semedo plays in Turkey now. Having left Wolverhampton Wanderers in English football, they had 5 years.
Oh iya
Was at Barcelona before that. Good pedigree. Good player.
Lah.
Ronaldo. A good yard
Offside.
offside, I would say. Don't run up straight away. Pedri's ball in for Danny Olmo.
I think, Martin, it's the sort of game, we haven't got one player out there that's really on top of this game. I think we've got a lot more playing very, very steady and playing very well. We don't have anybody really sparking, absolutely.
Well, certainly in
making
attacking
the
sense,
difference. Yeah.
Defenders are dominating.
Sama, kosong.
Being challenged enough. I think Andy's got a good point, but it's Diana had a good shot in the first half. Then everyone just trying to roll in behind the Portuguese defence.
Oi, sayang.
A little bit of extra acceleration from Bruno Fernandes.
Si Bruno, tarik kok gak umpanannya.
And he is a player in attacking
Terus
sense.
ganti Boyot sih eta anjir lu
Would be
mana.
contribute more to Portugal's chances of winning. Not because he's not been involved in the game, but it's not been a game to suit particular talents. But his particular talents can win a game like this, that's for sure. Here's Jan Neves.
Maya. Joe.
Now Felix.
Ronaldo.
Can he reach it?
Tajong gue padahal anjing tong asa-asa.
Tentatively. Small margins.
Asa-asa.
Yeah, all good one. It's the right idea from João Felix.
Tajong gue
Makes a
padahal.
nice run, Ronaldo, but he's
Oh,
having to wait
susah.
for it, sort of hanging in the air a little bit, trying to adjust his feet.
And put pace into it.
Yeah,
If
to
he
get
gets some.
something significant on it, Martin. Yeah, he couldn't do either, really.
Takes the way of Mark Cucurella.
Oh, banget. Gue udah lah back kan. Masa diharap wah ini sa. Udah lah
Rodri.
back full back mana. Namanya tak apa. Masih Arnold.
Sets that shot from Alex Baena.
Lain diharap
In the
digigir.
60th minute, their last shot on target, Spain. So although they're in a way catching the eye. They're flattering in that respect.
Pau Kubarsi.
Kubasic. They did let go forward a lot in the first half. He's not done quite so much in the second. They've maybe had quite so much control possession. Here he is again, the young man. Another young man. Not 19 until next week.
Yamal. Si Yamal kurang turun berapa mah?
Out Felix there. He's back on top of his fullback who's just come on, Nelson Semedo.
Jeung lamun geus kalengitan bola teh langsung main kasar atuh memang. Masih
Hits the floor and then just got tricked and that's good work.
Piala Dunia ini emang agak menurun Yamal.
Pedro Neto's just
Oh man, big chance. Oper tengah itu.
pass.
Shoot.
Pedro!
Wah, nah sih mending eueun bisa najong.
There's a chance. That's a great
Kamu
situation.
deh sih.
Ball giveaway.
Ini kan
Portugal
itu
perspective of the
minggu.
top. Montevega's got a little touch on that. Danny Olmo heads up. Finds Pedri on the edge of the box. Exactly where you want to be as a central midfielder. He's been flying out at him. A little deflection from another Spanish corner.
And now goal. Spain looking to up the scoring here. Coutinho could have got it further away than that. And that's led to another corner. Yamal, who was poised on the edge of the area, certainly came onto it. There you have it. And the goalkeeper has it as well. In fact, with a bit of physical contact on him, he probably would have got a foul, but he's hung onto the ball expertly.
Yeah, very nice work. Diego Costa there. It's exactly what you want. The ball's up there. It's hanging a little bit. And your goalkeeper come and claim it. He did that perfectly.
Signed a new contract with Porto recently, but they've lowered the buyout clause, which suggests that there might be a move in your thing. So, very nice switch of play to João Cancelo. He's kept on running into the middle. He's capable of getting a goal himself. And in other positions as well as fullback. Danny Olmo lost his bearings, lost the ball. Now Vitinha. Bruno just caught by Pedri. Malicious intent, none taken. Marcelo. Vitinha. Now, Pedro Neto setting off. Wanting it back.
And
Maybe not wanting it back, but it was coming back.
Yeah, João Cancelo trying to return the ball to Pedro Neto.
Not sure there was a
No, it wasn't
pathway for it.
No, it was a bit ambitious, that one.
Yeah. Well, we're looking at really fine margins here, Andy, aren't we?
And the bench.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the bench. I think soon we'll start to see some changes. Neither clubs really wants to show their hand first. When I say changes, Mike, I mean attack might be changes. Changes with intent to make the difference, not just to fill a gap or replace someone who's struggling a little bit. I'm talking about a change that can just give us a different look about what we're witnessing.
Nicely done by Pedri. They could play tick-a-tacker with him in the team, couldn't they? But a different approach from Luis de la Fuentes. Everyone really holding their breath in the ground, waiting for a decisive moment, because there has to be one. Ronaldo got there first, and he can go again on the outside, but then Yamal through the middle of the opposite flank. Hunts by Anna. And so they're trying to get it away, didn't get it away. It was angling across.
Yeah, no real sting in the shot.
By Anna.
Alex Spiner there. Comfortable stop, that is. Just for a moment then, when Lamine Yamal switched that ball from left to right, it looked like something might happen, but again, fizzled out a little too quickly.
Bang đôi udah
20
gaya.
minutes played in the second half. Still no real clue as to which way it's going to
Jadi
go.
gak bisa ngapa-ngapain bro.
But I think plenty of clues that it's going to be narrow.
Ke tengah.
Got there and
Oh.
now attacking it.
Kosong.
To get in there.
That's where we are lacking goals. If he's looking at it thinking, Cucurella likes to get into goal scoring positions. He's not with fullback. He's just standing and sits him on the edge of your picture.
Got to get people in there. Danny Olmo turns around to his teammates and says, "Come on, guys, where are we?
Yeah.
While they get in the box, you've just got one in there, and then the delivery's got to be inch perfect. Got to have others trying to get in there, and you've really got to battle to get in there, Martin. You've got to put your foot to the floor to try and sprint past your opposite man. You're not just going to glide in there and roll something in the back of the net. What a sprint.
Anthony Taylor being pretty consistent on
I
plays
want
going
to
to
know
ground.
about the
What he believes
background
chiefly.
dude.
Spain fans had their different view on that one. Everybody working so hard off the ball. Makes it so difficult for the team with the ball to make the opening, which would be so precious. Kubasi. Never Poro. Correa. Possession for Spain. Ryan is wrong. It's a bit different positioning. Change up as we go to the break. I like that from Bayern. Let's come conceptually.
Well, he's trying to make something happen. He hasn't picked the right pass yet.
No.
Martin, when he's been in good positions, his selection from that area of the field hasn't been good enough. But
Well, as they might say in these parts, there's more than one way to catch a steer. Get the lasso out and try and bring an opponent out of the game.
must be thinking about change any minute now. I think for the forward areas of his team, and just see him running through a few things there with Austin McPhee, who's their set piece coach. He works at Aston Villa in the English Premier League, but
And with Scotland, I thought he'd work with Scotland, but he doesn't.
yeah, no,
He's not up. He's Scottish, isn't he?
yeah, he is.
Jango. Yamal. Spain. Gapi mana Gapi? Iya baru inget aku.
He's put up Fuentes.
I would imagine both coaches are just trying to implore their team to just be that little bit more dynamic around the edge of the box. What happens, look, I've played in many games like this, Martin. The longer they go on, the more they feel like the inevitability of extra time. Because it just gets so tight. Neither team wants to lose in these knockout matches. It's so final and it's so dramatic. Because of that, you don't quite commit as many men forward as you might do when you're chasing again.
And the deeper you go, the more the fear of making a mistake that changes it. You know. Yeah, we do understand the psychology of it, and of course the managers do too, but they have to find a way to win. Elite management. This is not the era of going home where we played well, you know. There are going to be certainly
Si orang mana
challenges for
sih?
Portugal. Rafael
Ah.
Leao,
Roberto.
And Diego
Roberto
Dallas on the
Sa-
looks, Martin.
Iya, Pak. Pelatih kah?
being quite
Portugal.
yeah.
Oh ya. Cuy.
They are the two.
Akhirnya Leo main, bro.
Now Cancelo is off,
11.
and João Felix as well.
Main oke.
Well,
Leo.
Diego Dallas experience
Dalot lagi yang main.
Ini tadi si Jo.
probably could play central midfield, but really offers a bit of option for Portugal defensively. And Leao is, well, you never know.
No, you don't. I like him. I really like Rafael. I think he's got that ability to produce something a little different, and that's what this game needs. It's what it feels like is going to settle this contest. Is someone producing something a bit special? Well, who can do that?
Oke, Yamal.
It's a foul. Unbelievable foul on the edge
Akhirnya
of the area.
dribble sukses ya, Mas.
Those eyes looking at Anthony Taylor as if to say, "You're going to show him a card."
This Semedo, the substitute, we said earlier about how it isn't easy to settle in. He's had a few minutes now, but he still doesn't look super settled.
No, I think the minimal will fancy his chances.
Pertandingan Inggris lawan Meksiko lebih seru bro daripada ini.
Main aman nih mah.
Dikasih pressure terus se-Inggris aja.
Main aman ini mah coy.
It's an meeting around the ball.
Sama perpanjangan anjir penaltian deui. Main aman gua lagi.
But let's leave
Ini
it
mau
to
ngabuskan salah saya langsung defense habis-habisan.
that's all the other Spain players are thinking. And he has Stardust in those boots. It's a game that needs some Stardust.
Oh,
Very nearly
Tengah
survived.
teuing Yamal.
Dipping,
emang masuk.
and needed saving.
Certainly did.
Itu kiper tinggal ngajal unggul tuh kudu pindah anjir.
Straight out the goalkeeper.
Emang sih itu bisa tenangan bebas.
Teuing.
Tips it over, takes no chances with it, but powerful strike.
Spain corner. Goalkeeper has to reach for it again. And Semedo says,
Oh, Nuno Mendes langsung karas anjir.
there's activity in the Spain dugout as well.
Often the case, Martin. As soon as one coach makes a couple of changes, then there's usually a response.
Who is that? I don't know.
Ferran Torres is a favourite of De La Fuentes. He's another one he's had since a kid, since a youngster. He thinks, actually said publicly.
Ya lamun wani Ronaldo ganti.
Claim that he's such a modest, nice guy, the player. He doesn't seek publicity.
Yang paling gelon perpanjangan
He
gitu.
won't be the most famous number 7 on this pitch.
Kita jadi gede tuh benang wae peluang anjir.
But he can make a goal, can't he? Ferran Torres, you know, he can finish.
Mana cuy ge diganti Bernardo Silva masukin bu. Ya mah. Tong kaji inside wae atuh coy.
To finish this time now.
Turun ke rumah mana?
Further forward with Lamine Yamal.
Lah kadang-kadang jadi pemain muda terbaik lo ya mah.
Take those boys on in the box there.
Ya kayak memang gerbutut yang meureun belada.
Pedaling towards and in their own box, but
Yamalnya
Made a good run here.
Nyak. Nggak, hampir komen pemain terbaik baru itu di World Cup.
Get the throw.
Halan gacor.
There's a bit to do to get your hands on the real
Jangan terlalu
one for
ngelihat
these
Halan.
coaches.
Oh, Ferran Torres.
Here's Ferran
Bunga
Torres.
panjang anjir. Sebeda
Keren
sih.
Scored a hat-trick
Bro,
against
keren ini.
Germany. That's basically they're doing it 5 years ago now.
Cucu Lela.
Iya sih, Kukurela pasti panasan anjing Boki itu dia
Here's
kayak.
layout for the substitutes time.
Yang biasa nggak ada.
Nah, dan tadi namanya di Spanyol.
Kan dribbling gitu coy. Ronaldo nggak cicing di tengah lah Ronaldo. Gak jelas.
Oh, that's a good effort. Bruno Fernandes knew what was on. He knew he got a
Inggris
good
itu ya.
connection. This is within range, even from an awkward angle.
Yeah, certainly did. He did really well actually to get his body just to bump Cucurella out the way. That gave him the space to take the shot with his right foot. It's sweet enough.
Tadi
but it was a couple of yards wide,
Spanyolnya
but that's better from Portugal.
lu
That.
kalau mau main bola di tengah ya.
Oh, the clock ticks on.
Jadi tadi kayak peluang ya.
If you're going to get the goal to win it, I
Wow.
guess the later the better.
Kalau mau
Nelson Semedo butut banget.
See it
Cok.
through. Here's Dani
Pedri
Asli.
mana? Aduh, si Pedri mah gelandang bertahan orangnya.
Pedri.
Iya Rodri main oke. Berarti 2 anjir.
Square passes.
DM-nya 2 ya berarti.
Correa waiting out on the left. And now on the right. Kubasi. Pedri planning on a set off. I'm sure to spin and swivel to get a pass through to it. It didn't come. Pedri's
Bikin
got the
big
ball.
chance lah si Pedri sama si Rodri
Wasting
juga gak
possession in the
bisa.
search for an
Oke.
opening. And Ferran Torres with the kind of run that could decide the game.
Yeah. Just skipped off the surface and got away from Ferran Torres there.
Emang butuh tenaga baru coy. Bernardo Silva tuh dipainkan.
Just gives Portugal a better chance to get set, get in a good position, get blocked, and pick those runners off a little bit. When the Yamal gets it, in fairness to him, there's a bit of speed in their attacking play, but he hasn't been able to find the final ball yet to give someone a real gilt-edged chance.
Kubasi. Correa's has picked himself up again and he's on the ball and surprisingly got rid of it, but then he's fooled us all because he's made a run behind off the ball.
Oke.
Oh, here's Dani Olmo.
Kok bisa sih gue
Can he
nang
find a shot?
shoot?
I think it was a decent shot,
Kan kok
but
bisa anjir.
the block was there.
Pemain gitu dikosongkan di rada tengah.
Nelson Semedo goes to ground to try and
Langsung ngeri.
but the big centre half is behind his teammate and stretches a leg brilliantly to block it.
Confirmations on the huge screen here, 70,649 today's attendance.
Lemins.
Corner was not dealt with.
Rodri.
Malah lambung.
Cost him, but it did. It came out and punched well, but Spain have got it back again.
Tengah.
It's a
Lah,
lovely
bener
ball.
anjir.
Yamal.
Kenapa sih masih nu di tengah anjir?
He's
Tolol
simply
banget.
finding
Masih punya tim apa cuy?
positional to their actually the handball here.
Tadi loh.
Emery the ball was in
Di
that
tengah
position
kosong
where
wae.
the ball ends up. That's interesting to see whether that does touch Ronaldo Viega's arm. Let's have a look from this.
Tuh.
It kind of went underneath his arm almost, didn't it?
Si
Bolanya kan pakai
14
sensor.
cicingnya di aduh
That's what
mulai
they're
maju
asking
aja
for.
gitu
Ferran
deh.
Torres has now given them a point in their attack.
Yes, he has.
And here is Lamine Yamal. As always,
Bro, bentar lagi nih, so.
sharp in his work. That's with the corner. Glanced away. And it was handball. Easy one to give that.
Iya mah hand langsung iya nya.
I don't think the other one was
Lepas
even checked
Inggris
with the
kan.
player sliding to the ground. But Rodri was caught out.
Tah main oke.
We'll see Bernardo
Nah,
Silva.
Bernardo Silva.
Francisco Conceição, his dad played for Portugal in the World Cup 20 years ago.
Jauh teuing.
Panas gitu ya.
Panasnya.
Itu kadiun tuh nama udah terbutuh panas.
Bisa yang ngizin.
Roberto Martinez wants to give Cristiano
Rendang.
Ronaldo, look, the ultimate goal scorer, yes.
And the penalty taker, of course.
Yeah, yes. It's a long way to go.
It's a long, long way to go. Ferran Torres, again, the
Ini gitu lah.
his favourite, is doing well for the cross. And here's Ronaldo,
Harap langsung.
and he's safe. Bruno Fernandes was possibly able to be a difficult ball, and probably would have been
Jauh
given
teuing.
away, which is maybe the sensible approach from the senior citizen on the pitch. And in
Hanya
the
harudang
tournament
sih masih seriusan.
is Rafael
Iya ya cuy gue halus tekuk.
doing his thing. There's a deflection on the cross.
Rem heula.
He's been with AC Milan for a long time, but there is talk that he'll
Tadi
be moving on this
dipainkan
summer.
di mah. Wah, itu apa? Ya Felix turun ya nah.
So real
Siapa di awalan lalu kan Joe Felix siapa duh.
Enak-enak enggak nih turun nah.
Di awalan iya Piala Dunia kene karena
Oh, iya?
kamari.
I don't know lo.
Where's Alba? I mean, Yamal.
Tolol lu sutwe lah itu bisa ngoper.
Kita lagi ngesut barisan ngan kaluhur
Here's
hungul.
Leao. Good spot by Bruno Fernandes to get ahead of the winger and couldn't switch the play. Here come the latest Portugal changes.
Ada 18, ada 18.
They will be the last ones unless we get the
Oh
extra
si
time.
Neto.
Pedro Neto is off. And Sergio Conceição, who is very similar in the sense he's a left-footed right winger.
Vitinha.
Left-footed is Ronaldo Silva. Is
Si botak pelatihnya kan wasit eta. Aduh bisa-bisa ngawasitan Piala Dunia.
Who is that?
he's coming on for
Wasit Inggris dong. Akhirnya ngalempangan aduh butut banget seriusan Nilsson.
not going to be a corner.
Aduh
The free kick anyway.
bisa genep.
Miguel Marino, a very versatile character.
Darah lo Spanyol.
Enter the
Anu halus
play.
itu si iya pugu. Wani ya sih ngobrol.
and someone who can pinch a goal, Martin, more importantly. Miguel Marino's good in any wide free kicks or corners that are coming in and often get on the end of something in the box.
Just checking the 5 substitutes that have been used by Portugal, which means, unless we go to extra time, Cristiano Ronaldo will play the 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
As well, by looks.
Good player.
Harap
PSG contingent.
Nemoy na.
Ferran Torres. Stepping in was Bernardo Silva. Given so much pleasure to the Premier League as a player, of course, but as a person as well. Man with great integrity.
Siapa Fabian aja nomor 8 Pede.
Coming off this Pedri. And Dani Olmo.
Fabian Ruiz teh di
Big call
mana?
taking Dani Olmo off because he's one of those guys that can get himself into a nice
Kamu Pedri
position around the
keluar
edge of the
bro.
box. However, his work is done. There's an opportunity now.
Dalot teh pemain Liverpool kan?
Fabian Ruiz and Mikel Merino.
Sa,
Dalot.
wah MU. Anjir
Oh iya
penghinaan
MU.
tol. Pemain butut gitu.
Here's the Yamal.
Ngopo ya
Space to
Yamal?
run into.
Lu itu ditarik gagal mulu.
Great run.
Where's Saba? Yamal again. Appreciative of space on this near side.
Deh.
Fabian Ruiz.
Ah, lama nih main apa sih gak jelas banget.
And the Minimal we got on his own. I really do. I mean,
Do it.
brilliant run there.
Tiris.
He looks like he tries to switch it out to the opposite side of the field. If he can, I'd love to see him try and do it on his own, because I think he can.
Panas nih
Get into a shooting position himself.
There's Mark Laporte. Correct. Kept their starting back four together, Spain. Which will have to change theirs because of an injury.
Aduh udah anjir seriusan.
USA or Belgium await the winners. But who will be the winners? It remains a mystery here in Dallas.
Ayo perpanjangan coy.
Now they're trying to
Bro,
force Simon into misjudgment.
siap.
By Semedo, and in Spain's way though. I think when Spain get into these sort of positions, they do look the more dangerous team. Mikel Merino, two has a hat-trick in international football to his name. And he's only been really a makeshift striker. Then Yamal. Ferran Torres.
Oper kemana Blad?
It's thoughtful play.
Yeah, you're in the box, Martin.
Yeah.
Thought there, Ferran Torres. I think he could have hit one with his left foot. And then eventually he kind of just turned that opportunity down, and then it's one pass too many.
Here's Ruben Diaz. She's used to winning trophies in 2011 with Manchester City.
Apa nih bagus nih.
That's behind Francis Al.
Lah, anjir gitu doang kuning.
Trying to understand the fixture, I think there comes a time.
Bernardo Silva gets the card because he's the one.
Oh.
I mean,
Sukuna ngangkat anjir.
that really isn't a sensible challenge there. Because there's no point in complaining. It's a definite yellow card challenge. His foot is high, and that's silly because he needs his energy to get close to people and to stop people from playing and picking passes, and that means now he's got to be ultra careful.
Finally, Anthony Taylor has produced the yellow card. I think his personality, his experiences control the fixture very well. Game that could easily develop into a lot of needle. Ronaldo trying to sneak in here. Sure, the flag would have gone out.
Yeah, was in an offside position actually, in fairness.
Rodri. Pedro Porro. Aaron Torres is in the middle. Well, so is Marino as well. Be careful giving away those free kicks and taking them into the 6 added minutes before extra time.
Oh,
Torres, we might not need extra time.
wow. Gol.
It's brilliantly finished by the versatile Mikel Marino. No wonder in emergencies you can stick the midfield man up top, because that's what he does. And the later you get in front in a game like this, the better it is. And this is pretty late, Andy Townsend.
Ini menang gak sih?
As soon as this guy came on, I said that he's got a knack, he's got a habit, Mikel Marino, of scoring big goals. We saw him doing it for his club team Arsenal this season on a number of occasions. This
Itu emang
team
jelek
is
banget
taken
anjir.
by him actually. That's the goal scorer. Now watch him drifting forward. Times he's run perfectly. Too wide, two central defenders too far apart, and he's right between them. And with that left foot, he taps that brilliantly, coolly past the goalkeeper. And that is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting a long time for a team to create something significant. Spain have just found it.
Well, it's more and more the way in football. Leave it to the substitutes. Mikel Marino's manager,
Damn,
Mikel Arteta,
Ronaldo.
calls them finishers, not substitutes. He says some players start and some come on and wrap up the win, and he may well have wrapped up a win for his country here. That is the 50th goal by a substitute in this World Cup. That's how important they are. Yeah, that's
Dari tadi main.
around 260, I think.
Well, the clock is
It's a 270th.
Yeah, the clock is officially ticking away. So Portugal are going to have to serve this ball forward at every opportunity now.
Wah, gol dia lagi.
Can't get away. Well, there's
Aduh,
a red flag to the team in red now.
kayak gimana menang nah
They have to
anjir.
find
Main
something to
gini.
get a place still in the World Cup to extend the glittering World Cup career of their captain and iconic figure Cristiano Ronaldo to extend the tenure of Roberto Martinez in the job. So there's desperation in their minds with the rugby calmness with their feet. And that's very well played.
Great play that from Yamal.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you want now. Good ball carriers to catch you up, take you up the field, and Ronaldo Vega there just grabs his shirt, takes the yellow card, but excellent work.
And he's remarkable. Marino, later in his career, he's used his versatility. Normally played as a midfield man, had a spell even in England way back with Newcastle United. Didn't play very much. And he's matured into a man capable of getting a winner to take his team into the World Cup quarter-finals. But it's not done yet. Hit by Semedo. Conceição. By Bruno Fernandes, very deep. Not out to play, they are, will keep it alive. They have to score to keep themselves alive in this wonderful tournament. Semedo. Here's Ruben Diaz. We get him in the middle of the cross comes in. Should be going there now, but others are in there. Kubasi.
Haus Spanyol.
Portugal.
Portugal.
Ruiz.
Eta
Enggak lah yang anjing teh itu. Apa sih ini bagian penting aja eueuh.
lain gol nanya gol kaget aja mana pelanggaran heula
Well onside. Was,
langsung dioper.
up on the big screen in the stadium they're showing.
Aing gitu nyangka bisa gol anjir. Perasaan mainnya aman-aman wae teh tadi.
Portuguese fans who might have felt a short change.
Saya bagus kan? Teng. Memori. Sa memori.
Sa memori.
Ayo memori.
Morino meureun.
Oh Merino ganti memori.
Asa dongo banget anjir.
Nearly there.
Nah, ieu bahasa ieu mana aing.
Do you feel that they deservedly showing this?
Well, look, I said there was never going to be much in this game, Martin. I think what we would
Iglesias.
Dia emang naonnya emang ini saha nu meunang ge da namanya teu pantes dua nana oge. Oh gairah
Lebih
main.
pantas Meksiko amari urangnya.
Oh gairah main anjir. Jika Brazil berarti kan dia ki asupeuna teh pada pelanggaran leutik terus langsung ditanjong ujung-ujung gol we dioper ke hareup saeutik. Anjir teh nyangga bisa gol. Tidak melihat proses halus-halus saja anjir. Emang gol pendek teuing teh bisa jawab ya. Si Eza perasaan yang gelut wae deh.
Kecil-kecil cabai rawit, bro.
And taken out of the complaints in his own club mates.
Panas banget, coy. Udahlah, udahan wae, udahan. Capek panas.
Maybe if it'd been anybody else, Martin.
Nggak jadi penalti, Andro.
Just get above that, climb a little bit higher.
Oh, si Merino.
They have still got one change. The tall striker boy, Iglesias, comes on for Oyarzabal.
Lebih ramai kemarin Inggris jeung Meksiko. England bener-bener ditekan.
Last game here, didn't we?
Meksiko bener-bener nekan. Kayak di kandang aing gitu ya.
This would have been an equalising one. I guess get a touch.
Udahlah, prit.
Eyes on Anthony Taylor. The next Portugal play on. Vega. Bernardo Silva.
Udahlah prit.
Portugal. Missing Portugal. The final whistle hasn't gone. Some of the Spain players are holding up their hands in celebration. Conceição.
One last chance.
There's a foul.
One last chance here. Get everybody in that box.
Yang keduaan sih.
Deemed, I think, the major culprit there. That's the yellow card. So Diego Costa heads upfield. Can he hit the ball?
Bantis deh udah. Tapi udah mulai lebih ramai mau kok Timo Norway.
Spanyol babangi Prancis final terlalu dini gak sih?
Spanyol main kieu final terlalu dini. Serius nih?
And they're out. Spain are through. The derby.
Maroko jeung Norway di final mulai lebih ramai deh ya.
Has gone the way of the bigger nation. And Mikel Merino
Main gak jelas dua lagi anjir.
into the spotlight.
Karena Cikaeng yang nempuk golnya, bro.
Taken goal. In a match of very few chances. When the champions of Europe are still alive in the World Cup by the narrowest of margins, yet another late goal. And it's
Ya
Portugal
geus tenang
now,
enak Ronaldo mah geus teu
playing
ciga
on the end
baheula.
of the road to the great Ronaldo. We're all
Saya
sorry to
menang
see
teu
him
menang
go.
dah mah nangis.
Spain stride off. For all their fans, famous. And those who have just made special
Waduh,
journeys
iki
here.
picture itu dah anjir.
It's had a lot of
Mainan
success
gak
over the last
jelas.
20 years or so, a nation. And Mikel Marino puts them on the march again, Andy Townsend.
Tapi ayah gitu ciga.
Great goal. Last night, the Mexico England game had everything. Just it was breathtaking to watch it. This was much more typical of a last 16 game in a World Cup. Much more typical, I think, of it. And it got very tight. A lot of possession based up in the middle of the park. No one really able to come up with that.